Stop. Right now. Before you scroll past this video, I need you to hear something, because what is happening in the silver market right now is the kind of thing that only comes around once every decade. And the people who miss it will spend the next 5 years asking themselves why they didn't pay attention when someone tried to warn them. This is not a prediction. This is not some analyst's opinion. This is a pattern, a very specific, very dangerous, very powerful pattern that has shown up in the silver market only 3 times in the last 40 years. And every single time it appeared, what happened next completely blindsided the average investor. While millions of people were focused on stocks, on crypto, on whatever the media was screaming about that week, silver moved, quietly, violently, unstoppably. And the window to be on the right side of that move? It is not weeks away. It may not even be days away. If you are watching for Money Insights, make sure you hit that like button right now and subscribe, because we put out urgent market alerts exactly like this one, and you do not want to find out what you missed after the move already happened. Now, let's talk about what is actually going on. Most people don't realize that silver is one of the most manipulated, most misunderstood, and most underestimated assets on the entire planet. Everyone talks about gold. Gold gets the magazine covers. Gold gets the headlines. Gold gets the central bank conversations. But silver? Silver sits in the background, quiet, ignored. And then, without warning, it does something that makes gold look like a savings account. The last time silver made a major violent move, it went from under $10 an ounce to nearly $50 in just a few years. Before that, in the 1980s, it nearly destroyed some of the most powerful financial institutions in America in a matter of months. This metal has a history of doing the unthinkable. And right now, right at this very moment, the conditions that have preceded every major silver explosion in modern history are aligning again, simultaneously, in a way that should make every investor in the world sit up and pay attention. But here's the part that makes this different from every other silver conversation you have probably heard. This is not just about inflation. It is not just about the dollar losing value. It is not just about safe haven demand. What is building in the silver market right now is a collision, a perfect storm of forces that are each powerful on their own. But together they create something that the market simply is not pricing in. And when the market finally wakes up to what is sitting right in front of it, the reaction will be swift and it will be extreme. Let me walk you through exactly what is happening. And stay with me, because the piece I saved for the end of this video is the one that will genuinely shock you. Let's start with the foundation. Silver is not just a precious metal. This is something most people fundamentally misunderstand, and it is actually the key to understanding why this moment is so unusual. Gold is a monetary metal. People buy it to store value, to hedge against the system, to protect generational wealth. Silver does all of that too. But silver is also an industrial metal, and not just any industrial metal. Silver is the most electrically conductive metal on Earth. It is irreplaceable in solar panels. It is critical in electric vehicles. It is essential in semiconductors, in medical devices, in 5G infrastructure, in defense technology. You cannot substitute it. You cannot replicate its properties cheaply. And the world is consuming it at a rate that is accelerating, not slowing down. Here is where it starts to get serious. The Silver Institute, which tracks global supply and demand more precisely than almost any other body, has now reported consecutive years of structural supply deficits. Not small deficits, significant ones. In plain language, the world is using more silver than it is mining. The gap between what we need and what we produce has been quietly growing, and the above-ground stockpiles that used to act as a buffer, they are being drawn down, year after year after year. And here is the thing about physical supply deficits in a commodity market. They do not cause slow, gradual price increases. When the pressure builds long enough, when the inventories drop to critical levels, what happens is a price spike that shocks everyone. Because markets are forward-looking in theory, but in practice, most participants react to what is happening, not what is coming. And what is coming in silver has been quietly building for years. Now layer onto that what is happening with monetary policy. Central banks around the world have spent the last few years in the most aggressive rate hiking cycle since the 1980s. And what does that do? It made holding precious metals painful for a while. It made the opportunity cost high. It pushed a lot of institutional money to the sidelines. Silver dropped. Gold dropped. And most retail investors, seeing that decline, either sold or stopped paying attention, which is exactly what smart money wanted. Because while the average investor was walking away from precious metals, something else was happening that almost nobody noticed. Central banks globally, and I want you to hear this clearly, central banks have been buying physical gold at the fastest pace in over 50 years. Not paper gold, not ETFs. Physical gold, taken off the market and put into vaults. China, Russia, India, Turkey, Poland, Singapore. These are not small players making small moves. These are sovereign nations making a statement about where they believe the global monetary system is heading. And if you understand why they are stockpiling gold, you must ask yourself, what does that mean for silver? Because here's what most people don't realize about the gold to silver ratio. That number that tells you how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. Historically, over centuries of monetary history, that ratio has averaged somewhere between 15 and 20 to 1. Right now, that ratio sits above 80 to 1. That means silver, relative to gold, is historically as cheap as it has ever been in the modern era. Every single time in the last century that this ratio has stretched to these extremes, silver has violently mean reverted. And it does not do it slowly. It closes that gap in months, not years. It moves with a speed that leaves most investors standing on the platform watching the train disappear. The last time the ratio was this stretched was 2020. Silver went from $11 to $30 in roughly 5 months. The time before that, 2011, silver went from under $20 to almost $50 in a matter of months. These are not small moves. These are wealth-changing events. And right now, the ratio is telling us that silver is coiled, compressed, priced, as if it is in a financial crisis when the fundamentals say exactly the opposite. But none of that is the most alarming part. Hold on. What is happening in the COMEX, the exchange where silver futures are traded in America, is something that should be sending alarm bells through every serious investor's mind. The COMEX is where the price of silver is technically set. It is where large institutional players trade enormous contracts representing physical silver. And what has been happening there is a pattern that commodity traders call a squeeze, but this one has characteristics that are different from anything we have seen in years. The ratio of paper silver contracts to actual physical silver sitting in COMEX vaults has been rising to levels that are historically extreme. What that means in simple terms is this: there are more claims on silver than there is silver to deliver. For a long time, this does not matter because most futures contracts are settled in cash. Nobody actually takes delivery. But when sentiment shifts, when enough participants decide they want the real metal instead of the paper promise, the math breaks down very quickly. And we have started to see early signs of exactly that happening. Physical delivery requests on the COMEX have been increasing. Vault inventories have been declining. And the spread between paper silver prices and the price of physical silver in hand, coins, bars, the real thing, has been quietly, persistently widening. This is how a squeeze begins. Slowly, invisibly, and then all at once. Now I want to talk about something that gets almost no mainstream coverage, and it may be the single most important factor in the silver story right now: the role of artificial intelligence and the energy transition in driving industrial silver demand to levels the market never anticipated. Think about what is happening in the world right now. Every major government on Earth has committed to some version of an energy transition. Solar panels are being deployed at a scale that was unimaginable 5 years ago. The International Energy Agency has repeatedly had to revise its solar installation forecasts upward because the reality has exceeded every projection. One in every single solar panel requires silver. A modern solar panel uses somewhere between 15 and 20 grams of silver in its photovoltaic cells, silver that cannot be replaced with a cheaper metal without sacrificing efficiency. As solar deployment has scaled globally, the demand from this single sector alone has surged by hundreds of millions of ounces annually compared to just a decade ago. And now add AI to that picture. The global build-out of data centers, the physical infrastructure powering artificial intelligence, requires enormous amounts of electricity, enormous amounts of cooling, and enormous amounts of the advanced semiconductors and connectors that rely on silver. The AI boom is, at its physical core, a silver demand story that Wall Street has not yet connected the dots on. Most investors are buying NVIDIA. They are buying cloud companies. They are buying the software layer. Almost nobody is looking at the physical material inputs that make all of it possible. Almost nobody is positioned in the metal that literally powers the technology revolution. When the market connects those dots, and it will, the repricing will be violent. Let me tell you what smart money is actually doing right now, because this is where the story gets really interesting. Hedge funds, family offices, and sophisticated commodity traders have been quietly building positions in silver over the last several months. Not with fanfare, not with press releases, quietly. The way you accumulate when you do not want anyone to notice. The options market, which is where sophisticated players telegraph their expectations without moving the spot price, has seen a significant buildup of bullish silver contracts at strike prices well above current market levels. These are not defensive positions. These are offensive bets. These are players who believe that silver is going to move significantly higher, and they are positioning before the broader market figures it out. There's a concept in markets called dumb money and smart money. And I want to be careful here because those terms can sound condescending, but what they really describe is timing and information. Smart money does not react. It anticipates. It positions. before the narrative shifts. It buys when nobody cares. And the moment that the mainstream financial media starts running silver headlines, the moment CNBC is doing 3 segments a day on silver, the moment your neighbor is asking you if he should buy silver, by then, smart money has already been in position for months. They are selling to the people who are buying based on headlines. Right now, the headlines are not there. The excitement is not there. The retail frenzy is not there, and that is precisely what makes this moment so significant. But here is where I need to slow down and be honest with you, because a good financial warning is not a one-sided story. And if you have watched this channel for any amount of time, you know we do not hype things without showing you the full picture. Silver is volatile, extraordinarily, almost brutally volatile. It is not a set-it-and-forget-it asset. The same properties that make it capable of going up 50% in a matter of months also make it capable of dropping 30% in a matter of weeks. In 2011, when silver ran to nearly $50, it then gave back most of those gains within a year. People who bought at the top thinking the move would continue were badly hurt. The commodity supercycles that silver participates in are real, but the timing is never clean and the path is never straight. There's also a scenario where deflation wins, where a global economic slowdown crushes industrial demand for silver faster than monetary demand can fill the gap. If the global economy goes into a severe recession, silver's industrial exposure could weigh on it even as gold holds up or rises. That bifurcation has happened before, and it could happen again. And the manipulation question, because anyone who follows silver knows this conversation, is real but unpredictable. Large institutions have significant power to suppress silver prices in the short and medium term. They have done it before, and legal cases have confirmed it. The question is always whether the structural forces become too large to suppress. And the answer, historically, is yes, but eventually is not a trading strategy without a time horizon. All of this means that if silver is part of your thinking, position sizing matters. Risk management matters. Not everything you have. A thoughtful allocation that you can hold through turbulence. Because turbulence is guaranteed. Direction is the question. Now let's get back to the urgency. Because there is a catalyst building right now that could compress the timeline significantly, and it is one that almost no one is talking about. Interest rates. The pivot. The Federal Reserve and central banks globally appear to be entering a rate-cutting cycle. When interest rates fall, several things happen simultaneously that are extraordinarily bullish for silver. The dollar weakens, which makes commodities priced in dollars more valuable in global markets. The opportunity cost of holding non-yielding assets like silver disappears. And most importantly, the historical relationship between monetary easing cycles and precious metals price surges is one of the most reliable patterns in modern financial history. Go back and look at what happened to silver in the late 1970s as the Fed began its inflation fight. Look at what happened after 2008 when the Fed went to zero and launched quantitative easing. Look at 2020 when emergency rate cuts were announced. In each case, silver responded with a lag, and then it moved with extraordinary velocity once the trend was confirmed. We are potentially at the beginning of another such cycle, and the starting position for silver, both in terms of price relative to gold and in terms of supply-demand fundamentals, is arguably stronger than it was at the start of any of those previous cycles. The world has changed. The industrial demand story did not exist in the 1970s the way it does today. Solar panels were science fiction. Electric vehicles were science fiction. AI data centers were science fiction. The monetary demand story, the distrust of fiat currency, the de-dollarization trend, the central bank gold buying, is stronger today than it has been in a generation. And the physical supply situation is structurally tighter. You add a rate-cutting catalyst to all of that, and you have a powder keg. I want to tell you about something that happened in March of 2020 that most people have forgotten, but that I think is critically important context for what we are watching right now. When the COVID crisis hit and markets went into freefall, silver dropped with everything else. In a matter of weeks, it fell from around $18 to below $12. The physical silver market seized up almost immediately. Dealers ran out of inventory. Mints stopped taking new orders. The premium on physical silver coins and bars exploded. You could not buy real silver at anywhere near the paper price because the paper price had been driven down by panic selling in futures markets, while the physical metal was nowhere to be found. And then something remarkable happened. As the Fed announced its emergency measures, trillions in stimulus, rates to zero, quantitative easing, silver reversed. Not slowly, rapidly. By August of 2020, it had gone from $12 to $29 in roughly 5 months. That is a 140% move, from the lows to the highs in 5 months. And the people who had positioned in physical silver during the panic, the people who had bought when everyone else was selling, when the headlines were terrifying and when the paper price was crashing, those people doubled their money and more. The setup today has echoes of that moment. Not identical, but echoes. A market that has been beaten down, a physical market that is increasingly tight, fundamental drivers that are arguably stronger than they were in 2020, and a potential monetary catalyst. Rate cuts, dollar weakness, global instability, that could be the trigger that wakes the market up. Let me give you the big picture now, because I want you to understand what is really at stake here, beyond just the price of silver. We are living through a period of profound monetary uncertainty. The national debt of the United States has crossed $36 trillion and is accelerating. Global debt has reached levels that, in the history of modern economics, have always eventually required some form of monetary resolution: inflation, devaluation, restructuring, or some combination. The BRICS nations are actively building financial architecture designed to reduce their dependence on the US dollar. Central banks are diversifying their reserves away from treasuries. The global monetary order that was established after World War II and reinforced after 1971, when Nixon ended the gold standard, that order is under more stress today than at any point since it was created. In that environment, hard assets, real things, physical things, assets that cannot be printed or conjured into existence by a government decision, historically perform. Gold has already begun to price some of this in. Gold has been making all-time highs. But silver, which throughout most of monetary history has traded alongside gold as a monetary metal, has not followed. Not yet. The divergence between gold hitting all-time highs while silver remains dramatically below its 2011 peak is, in historical context, a profound anomaly. Anomalies resolve, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. When silver moves to close that gap, and I am not saying if, I am saying when, because the fundamentals are too powerful for this divergence to persist indefinitely, the percentage move in silver will exceed gold's. It almost always does. Silver's smaller market means that when capital flows in, prices move more dramatically. The same characteristic that makes it more volatile on the way down makes it more explosive on the way up. Here is my final warning. And I mean this as a genuine warning, not as hype. The silver market is not a slow-moving freight train that gives you time to jump on. When it moves fast. The opportunity that is building right now, based on the supply deficit, the gold-silver ratio, the smart money positioning, the industrial demand acceleration, the monetary policy pivot, and the broader de-dollarization trend, will not wait for the moment when it feels comfortable to act. By definition, the comfortable moment is after the move has already happened. By definition, the uncomfortable moment, right now when it feels uncertain, when most people are not paying attention, when the mainstream has not picked up the story yet, is when the positioning happens. I am not telling you to bet everything. I'm not telling you to make reckless decisions. I'm telling you to educate yourself, to understand what is building in this market, to look at the historical patterns, to look at the fundamentals, and to make a conscious, deliberate decision about whether this belongs in your financial strategy before the market makes the decision for you. The people who got destroyed in previous silver spikes were not the ones who positioned early. They were the ones who panicked in at the top after CNBC had done 50 segments on silver, after their neighbor had called them about silver, after the move was already 90% complete. The people who built wealth in silver were the ones who acted when nobody was watching, when it was boring, when it required independent thinking to see what the crowd had not yet recognized. Right now, most people are not watching silver. Right now, the crowd has not recognized what is building. Right now, the window that serious investors spend years waiting for, to be positioned ahead of a major move before the narrative shifts, before the headlines scream, that window is open. How long it stays open? That is the question nobody can answer with certainty. There's one more piece to this story, one more development that has been quietly unfolding in the background, something involving a specific type of institutional player, a specific market structure change, and a catalyst date that has every serious silver watcher I know watching the calendar. I did not have time to get to it today. But it may be the most important piece of this entire setup. That story is coming very soon. Make sure you are subscribed, make sure notifications are on. Because when that piece drops, when you understand the full picture of what is building in this market, everything we talked about today is going to make a lot more sense. And by then, I want you to already be informed, already positioned, already ready. Because the move nobody is ready for, it does not announce itself, it just happens.